Today's agenda, got the suitcase up in the central. Go to room 112, tell them Blanco sent you. Feeling strangers, if no money exchanges. I got these kids in ranges to leave them niggas brainless. All they told is stainless, you just remain as calm as possible. Make the deal go through. If not, here's 12 shots, we know how you do. Please make your killings clean. Slugs up in between, they eyes like true lies. Kill them and flee the scene. Just bring back the coke or the cream, or else your life
Okay, I'm over here with Sergio Diaz, the manager of Margarito. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good, man. So we just got done watching Margarito. He looks great. He looks strong. You know, there's so many questions that a lot of fight fans have, you know, for you guys. And the obvious is the coming out party was against Miguel Cotto. But do you guys feel you gained the respect from the media yet completely, or do you still feel that you guys have a lot to prove to the fight fans and to the whole community that you guys are number one?
You know what? I really don't think we have to prove anything. Tony's been a champion for years. We had that hiccup against Paul Williams, but before that, he defended his bout, you know, many times. You know, we've always had the fans. It was just that fight against Cotto really just put us up there. It was just a big explosion. We got more respect. We got more media saying, you know what, Margarito is a real fighter. He's a real contender out there. So it's been positive, yes.
What are some of the things that you think and you feel that? Because, you know, when you hear fighters, especially like right now, Sugar Shane Mosley, I don't know if you heard him in one of his interviews stating that he's tailor-made, that Margarito's tailor-made for him. I mean, what do you think about that when he says something?
You know what? We don't. I read things, and I don't even tell Tony about it. I mean, I know he hears things. He'll bring up. It doesn't even faze us. We don't think about it. He has a job, and his job is to get ready for a very good Mosley, not an old Mosley, not a slow Mosley, a real good former champion. You know, Tony doesn't take anybody lightly. He takes everyone serious. So what Mosley said, he can say what he wants to say. We hear that all the time, and you know, it's just we just got to go out there and prove everyone wrong.
Absolutely, you know. You just talked about Paul Williams. What's the story between you guys and Paul Williams and his whole camp?
Nothing. There's just no story. You know, Paul Williams is at 154 pounds. We're still at 47. You know, it's mentioned Tony could go to 54, which is true, but his weight is 47. He doesn't struggle making 47. He makes 54 too easily. You know, we have different promoters where we're top ranked, that we're goosing. If that fight's going to happen, the promoters will get together and make that fight happen. It's not about Tony not wanting to fight Williams. I know it's not about Williams not wanting to fight Tony. I mean, that fight will happen, but the promoters need to get together and make that happen.
Now, is that a fight that you would take first before facing Cotto on a rematch, if that was to come about and materialize for you guys for the right money?
You know what? The Cotto fight, I'm not going to say it's done, but it's almost done. You know, we're talking about a June date. So it wouldn't be before Cotto. It would not be before Cotto. After Cotto, I can't say. You know, we do have our promoters, and they're the ones that they have a plan set for us already.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you know, your guy has always been labeled as the most feared man at 147. I have called him the Cucuy of Mexico. You know, but there's a lot of fight fans that are now talking about Joshua Kalati taking that label away from your guy.
I don't know why. I mean, I really don't know why he would take that label from Tony. I mean, Joshua, after that fight, you know, he said his hands were hurt. There were excuses. His hands were never broken. I mean, you hurt your hands in fights.
Right.
I mean, if he was hitting Tony, I mean, he hit a solid rock. You know, Tony had a hand injury as well. He had an ankle injury during that camp. It was the worst camp we ever had. We never said anything. I mean, right now I'm actually saying it because I know Claudia's been saying my hands were broken or they weren't hurt. It would have been different. Well, if Tony wasn't hurt from his hand or his ankle, it would have been a different fight. You know, we went into that fight with 7 weeks preparation, and we probably had 3 good weeks getting ready for that fight. You know, the injuries really hurt us, but we had such a long layoff before that fight that Antonio said, you know what? I'm going to go through this fight. I got to go. I got to fight. If I don't fight now, I'm going to have to wait another long time. So that's the reason we went forward with that fight. But to be honest with you, we shouldn't. We should have just said, you know what, you're hurt. Let's not get into this. Let's wait for the next one.
Sugar Shane Mosley, why did you guys particularly pick that fighter to face?
No, we didn't pick Mosley. Mosley picked us. Mosley picked us. Antonio fights anybody. Mosley picked us. HBO wanted it. The promoters got together. They made it happen. That's why we're fighting Mosley.
Okay. Now, you know, you like you said, you read up on what fans are saying and stuff, or what's going on in the whole boxing world, and you know, and I'm pretty sure you've heard many times over and over that you know Margo's beatable, we can beat him, you know, we can outwork him. But what are some of the things that you would have to say that a lot of people don't give Margarito credit for?
You know what? You hear that? It's funny. There was a real good article a couple years ago, and it came out in Ring Magazine. I can't recall who it was. I want to say it was Kermit Cintron. You know, fighters go in the fight, they believing they could beat Antonio. You know, they're all calm. You know, I could beat this guy. This guy is slow. This guy has no defense. He gets hit. But they get in there. They get in the ring with Tony. They might land a punch. Antonio always smiles. He'll tell, okay, you know, you come in with your best shot.
Right.
Now it's my turn. And that actually breaks down a fighter. His opponents, you know, mentally they just like, whoa, I just hit him with my best shot. I didn't do anything. And Tony's like, now it's my turn. Now I took your best shot. Now you're gonna take my best shot.
Absolutely.
And he breaks him down. He breaks his opponent's fight. And I do believe fighters out there really believe they could beat him. They get in there, but once they're in there, it changes. It's a whole different ballgame.
That pressure that he just applies, and you know, there's a lot of subtle movements that I have, you know, witnessed Margarito, you know, over the years and over his bouts. You know, a lot of things, like I said, he's not giving credit for. One, a lot of folks say that Cotto could have won the fight if he would have went to the body, could have done this, but I think what a lot of fans are forgetting is that Margarito actually blocks his body fairly well. It's very difficult to get to his body. Do you think that's one of the things that sports writers and even fans have not given him credit for?
Going into that fight, you know, Cotto said, you know what? They've been asking Cotto, you know, if you would have stopped, hit to the body. He actually got frustrated and said, look, I had a plan A, I had a plan B, I had a plan C. I went through all my plans. I couldn't. I would stop, and I couldn't. The guy just kept coming forward. We had a plan A. That plan A was just to keep going forward. And we're open about it. People were asking, what are you going to do? That's what we're going to do. We're going to go forward. We're going to go forward, and we're going to catch them until we break them down. So Cotto knew what we were going to do. You know, we didn't know what Cotto was going to do. We were hoping Cotto would stand, but that wasn't going to happen. Cotto did the perfect job. I mean, he would have beaten any welterweight that night.
Especially with those hellacious shots that he was landing. Exactly. Would have stopped any other welterweight.
Exactly.
But you guys got the best jaw in the business right now.
Yes, we do.
You know, you know, you say the Cotto fight is the coming out party for Margarito, but really, is there another fight out there that maybe you guys are hoping to get that's going to be the explosive coming out party for him?
Well, you know what? We don't know. Right now, we're concentrating on Mosey. You know, Mosey's the next guy. We never look past our opponents. But there are a lot of fighters out there. There's Manny Pacquiao, who mentioned he would want to fight Margarito. We're not calling Manny out. We're not calling out. We're with the same promotional company, and I'm sure Bob wouldn't want to make that fight. You know, we got the bigger guy. But Manny has mentioned that he does want to fight Margarito. You know, he's mentioned that he can beat Margarito, that if he keeps him in the center ring, that he could outbox Margarito. I mean, I know a lot of people are asking about that fight, but to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know what happens. We're talking about a Cotto fight in June. After that, I really don't know which way we're going to go.
You get a lot of guys that talk about that, you know, Margarito, Paul Williams, bullies at 147. What do you say to those guys that keep saying that?
I'm sorry.
So you get a lot of fight fans and even sports writers that saying that Margarito, Paul Williams at 147, they're just bullies. They should move up in weight. What do you say to those kind of people that saying that stuff?
A lot of those people don't actually know what they're talking about. You know, yeah, they're boxing fans, but they don't know what they're really saying. You know what? Bullies at 147, we should move up. It's not like that. I mean, yes, Antonio can make 154 pounds, but it's not his division. He's at 147. Yes, he's tall, but at 154, he'll make the weight in 4 weeks. You know, at 147, he has to actually work to make his weight, but he feels strong. If we couldn't make 147, we'd be fighting at 154, but we could do it. So that's why we're continuing that in this division.
One more question before I let you go, Sergio. A thorn in your guys' foot for some time now. Puerto Rican fighter by the name of Daniel Santos. Will you guys ever fight him again?
You know what? Daniel Santos, you know, we fought him. We went up to 154.
Right.
You know, we're at 147. Couldn't get a fight, so we had to go to 54. Let me tell you something. When we were in Puerto Rico, we got there on a Sunday. Tony was just going to go shake out. We went into the gym weighing about 158. Tony shook out for about an hour. Real light workout because there was a lot of media, so he did some mitts, a small workout. We went to go weigh in. Antonio weighed in 149. 149. We went into that fight. We made 154. The night of the fight, Antonio was like 157. Santos was over 170 pounds.
Wow.
170 pounds. You know what? That Santos fight, Tony said he would fight Santos. We would take that fight. But there has to be something there. Something more than a title
Financial.
bout. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And right now, you know what? We like Santos, and he's struggling right now. He's struggling to get a fight. You know, and it's tough. So I don't really think it's a fight that the people really, I don't want to say care to watch. There's just there's no big interest in it. Like there's other opponents like the PacQuao, the Cottos, the Claudies. You know, there's still those.
Or the
fights.
De La Hoyas.
Oh, the De La Hoyas. You know, I don't want to mention because I don't know what's going to happen with them. Exactly. Oh, the De La Hoyas. Right.
Okay. But thank you, brother.
Thank you
I
very much.
appreciate you taking out your time and discussing it with me and the hardcore fight fans that are out there. And thanks for inviting us out here, too.
Thank you for coming.
All right, brother.
All right.
Thank you.